Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it is Wednesday night, time for a Facebook Live. I hope you've had a good day today. I certainly have. You know, Wednesday is our day to run errands, and we got a lot done today, and came home and had a piece of wire in one of our tires. So now we have new tires. So it's a nice way to end the day. What do you think? So we're going to make a fun little card today. I have tonight I am doing a challenge from a group that I belong to do a floating strip card. I had never done one before, so I thought, well, let's practice tonight and see how that turns out. And maybe you'll want to give it a try also. It's kind of a fun little technique. So these colors, I posted we were going to do daisies, are not what I would mix together, but I think they're going to look pretty together. So we have our new, is it wild wheat, and I still don't know these new colors yet, do I? Let's see what the cardboard says. Is it wild wheat? And glad I've got this piece of paper here. Cotton, it's pebbled path, wild wheat, and crushed curry. So we're just using the wild wheat today. And the moody mauve, because that's also in this paper. And bubble bath. So we're using mix and matching all these colors together. I guess I wasn't thinking about that being crushed curry was my confusion. But that's what's in this paper. So all those colors do kind of go together, don't they? I went ahead and embossed this with the crosshatch just to give it some texture, and we'll put that to the side for right now. We need to do our floating strips, and we're going to cut our strips out of the daisies and just a piece of the mauve, that's moody mauve, that's on the back of one of these sheets of paper. So let's get the trimmer. And our image that's going to be the floating image is going to be the size of the largest circle die that we have. So that's certainly enough there to cover that. And so the way these cards work is you just cut strips in a variety of widths. So that we want our top piece to be wider because that's where our sentiment's going to go. And then we're going to just cut randomly, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 strips here, and they're not going to be all the same size. They'll be different widths. I'm not even measuring, I'm just cutting. I do want to remember, since I'm cutting this pattern here, paper, I kind of want to keep them in order as how they come off my trimmer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll cut a little wider on that one. We can always cut more if we need to, but that's our start. Now I have a piece of acetate here that's what our floating strips are going to be adhered to. And it really helps nicely if you have this paper with lines on it, because that's going to kind of help us get everything straight. It's not going to be perfectly straight. I don't know anybody that can do that, but I'm not going to let it bother me either. Let's see. Maybe we'll put one down at the bottom and then a tiny one here at the top. Yeah. Now we're going to adhere our paper on there, and we're going to adhere it with tear and tape because it will not glue, will not stick. You could probably use tape runner, but I think we'll just stick with tear and tape. We're going to put this one right up to the edge of our acetate. I know you probably can't see this acetate here because it's clear, but we'll do our best. Now we're going to put our floral there, and hopefully we've got these where they're in order still. If you're watching tonight, give me a thumbs up or a hello. I'd love to see who's here. Now we're going to leave a little space where our paper's going to show through there. That's what makes it look like it's floating. Now let's see if we've managed to keep these in order here. I think that one's going to work, so at least we've got that one going. And a little bit of space again. Let's check on this one. Yes, that's it. It's kind of tricky. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Thanks for joining us today from West Virginia. My goodness. We're pretty far apart, aren't we? I think you guys have had about as much rain as we've had. This is the first day we haven't had rain. Now we're supposed to have rain tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. But at least today we got some sunshine. That one will go right there. Now you can do this technique with just different colors of cardstock, and it looks really pretty. But then when I was playing around with this, I thought, oh, these daisies, I think they'd be kind of cute. So if I don't forget, I'll show you one I did with cardstock. I didn't do the card, I just did the float part. I'll turn it into a card later. I was just practicing how it works. I think that one goes this way. Now, if you don't have window sheets, you can use one of the pieces of plastic that come from when you buy a photopolymer stamp set. Don't forget to save those sheets of acetate. You can use them for this technique. Or you can use them to make stencils. I like to use them to make stencils. Now I think we can move this tape here. And is that where that goes? Yeah. There we go. Now we've got a rectangle on our acetate. And we want to leave enough room up here for our sentiment. And it's going to be happy birthday. I think that will work just fine. So we really didn't need all those strips, but we got them just in case. It's better to be safe than sorry. And let's pull one of these. And we're going to run this through the cut and emboss machine. And it actually works to do this because this acetate's thicker. It actually works a little better if you do this upside down and have your cutting plate, the one that gets all scratched up, on the top, and you're going to run it through 2 to 3 times to make sure it cuts nice and crisp. I don't know why it works better upside down, it just does. Maybe the pressure's a little better. We'll see how that, I think that looked like it came out pretty good. I'm going to rip our paper here. This shouldn't, but sometimes when you run it through this repositionable tape through, it does kind of stick. You're floating in, Karen. That's fine. I understand completely. So now here's our floating image. And this was really just the most time-consuming part. And it's not that bad. And we're going to put, see, now you can see the color showing through where you left your space on your strips. But we need to stamp our happy birthday on here. And I'm going to use Pebbled Path. I don't want it super dark, like black, but I want it bold enough to, you know, stand out and you can read it. Let's make sure we're fairly straight. And I'm doing it off to the side, and you'll see why in a minute, because we're going to put some daisies over there. Okay, let's put our card together. We'll layer these 2 colors. Can't believe I forgot the name for crushed curry. But it's easy to forget names, isn't it? And we're just going to mount this on our card base. Just a thick basic white. Somebody was asking the other day about the thick basic white. It really just makes a much sturdier card. It makes your card feel richer, and it stands up better. If you want your cards to stand up, you want people to display them, and when you use the thinner basic white, it's just not strong enough. So that's why we use the thick basic white. Now we're going to put this on here, but we want it floating. So we're going to use our adhesive strips. Now, honestly, I could use some dimensionals there. It's not, that's wide enough, but these make it a lot easier. You don't have to use quite so many. And if you haven't bought any of these, they're well worth getting. They work perfect for shaker cards or floating cards, or if you just want to adhere things to the front of your card. I think we can cut this one in half. And we'll put that one there. I don't know, is that gonna, yeah, that's gonna work. And we need one more there. It's a little bit too long. We do have great adhesives. Now, then you won't see that on the back. If you don't invest in a good adhesive, then your cards will fall apart. Or humidity will get them. And I don't like my cards to fall apart. Okay, now we'll I thought it would be fun to have some white daisies here. And this, you know, the Dainty Daisies has the die to cut the centers, but we're going to use some bling for our centers. So we're just going to cut some white daisies. I wish there was two here, but there's only one. We'll run these through twice real quick. And then we need, oh, well, let's do two more. We might put one on the inside. As long as we're running through the die cut, we might as well. Now we've got a couple daisies here. These colors do go together, even though you would never pick these colors to go together. They do. It's just amazing, isn't it? It's not like we think about. I don't know. When I go shopping, I certainly would not mix these colors together, but I think now I will. So we're going to put some little daisies there. Isn't it great, though, that we have all these choices for our cards and our colors? And then we put one more on the ends over on this side. Oops, a little too much. Dab that off. Now, I know these colors, I think this is Fresh Freesia. In my mind it is, but it could be Bubble Bath. I don't know. But I think it actually looks fine with this color. So we're going to put these dots here. Yeah, it kind of picks up the mauve and the Bubble Bath, those colors together. Now we need to do a little dressing up on the inside. And so since it's happy birthday, I'm doing sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. And surprisingly, that font matches. This is from Celebrating You, I think. It's, not the set with the other we mix and match sentiments. That's the way to go. And I have some little scraps left from our cutting, so we'll put this on at the bottom. And then I think we can put that little daisy down there that we cut. We'll layer that. I know you can't see that, I'm sorry. The card's in the way. Now don't forget, our GSP is on sale for just the month of June. So if you've been enticed by any of these papers, then you want to go ahead and get it. I think we'll put that there. And then I will use a die cut for this because you don't want to put bling on the inside of your card. It would make a big lump, wouldn't it? So I'll put a little pink, or maybe I'll use a piece of this. I don't know, we'll see. So that was pretty quick. Look at that, 30 minutes and we've made a floating strip card. And I've been thinking about, wonder how you could do, you could do a square, you could do a rectangle, and then I was wondering if you could do a long, narrow rectangle of colors. I think that would look really pretty. And then I was wondering about the Countryside Inn dies, if that would work to make a floating card. So many possibilities. Now let's see if I can find the one I did earlier. So I made this just the float part with the Flirty Flamingo Petal Pink and Soft Sea Foam. And I think I'm gonna put a white something, fern or something on that. I like that. I thought those colors looked pretty together. So you'll have to wait and see what I do with that tomorrow. But this is the one we made tonight. And as strange as these colors are, I really like them together. I hope you do too. So thanks for joining me. I hope you will try this technique. and you'll love it as much as I do. I love to try new things, and I hope you do too. I will see you soon. Bye.